Okay, perfect. So now that I have all of these selected, you can see just these components that I don't care much about have 2.7 million triangles. So the first thing I'm going to do here is join them all together. So I just hit one, and then you could either hit A to get them all together, or you could just choose one object and then draw a rectangle to select any other objects that you want to add to that. So in this case, I'm just going to click on it, hit A, and then hit Control J to join. I've joined them all, and this really helps me, again, reduce the total number of objects and also decimate or reduce the total triangles all in one motion. So I'm going to go here to the right to the wrench called modifiers, and I'm going to go to generate and decimate. Now you can play around with this ratio value, but what I like to do is zoom into a component that gives me a general sense of how much resolution I'm losing as I reduce the integrity of this mesh, and just play around with the values there. So I like this one. It's got some nice details and some round surfaces. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to start right away with 0.2. And it's just loading here. Okay, and you can see it went down to 543,000 triangles, but I still think there's a lot of detail here that I don't plan on showing, and um, I'm gonna reduce it further. So I'm gonna go with 0.15. And as you can see, this is not necessarily a super tedious process, but it does take time and you have to play around with some settings, and it's a bit hard to automate because it is something that you have to observe and decide when something is good enough or if too much resolution has been lost. So I like 0.15 and I would keep that, but I just want to show you what happens if you do something a little crazy like 0.05. It starts to look a little bit abstract. See, like it doesn't even look round at all anymore. Too much loss of integrity. So I'm gonna keep it to 0.15 and I will continue working through the rest of the parts. But this, what I just showed you, is super critical to reduce the overall weight of your file and make sure it works in as many mobile devices as possible. So now that I'm happy with this, I'm just gonna go Alt H and once again work through my objects. So one that I know from past experience doing this, one object that I knew gave me trouble was actually the what's called the linear stage. So it is this backstage here that carries the build plate up and down, and that in real life has a lot of like precise components and a lot of precise movement used in 3D printing. So you can print down to like the 25 micron resolution, and there's a lot of unnecessary detail for the augmented reality application. Now, here I know that, sorry, let me actually hide this bottom plate as well. Okay, perfect. So just this component alone has 625,000 triangles. And um, I, I I know that this front plate, I'm gonna make it look metallic. So I'm gonna actually hide that. Um, and now I'm gonna select all and join it. There were 54 parts there before, now there are 2, and I'm gonna decimate this mesh. So again, go to the wrench for modifiers, go to generate, decimate, and I like 0.2. So let's see how, okay, down to 125, perfect. I could probably keep optimizing this, because you see the circles have high level of integrity. All the details are there. Let's do 0.15. Okay, I like it. And back to Alt H. Now, we started at about 4.3, I think, 4.5 million triangles. We're down to 1.3 just doing the screws and this back channel. And you get the idea. You can keep working through each component and then join the components that will be acting together. So one good example here is this projector. This projector is sitting on top of this metal sort of structure, and eventually I would hide all the objects around it and then select the entire projector and just hit Control J to make it all one part, unless I wanted to remove just the lens and show how to do maintenance on the lens, for example, or how to exchange the fan or something very specific to the projector, which is not the case now.